Here's a really fun study that was done by Durex, and it was done on Nigerian kids. And the research found that 30% of Nigerian men are fathering children that are theirs. Nigerian women rank second highest on paternity fraud in the whole world. And guess who ranks number one? Jamaican women. Jamaican women have a paternity fraud cuckoldry rate of 62%. You're more likely to get someone else's kid than your own if you're banging up a Jamaican girl.
A mother who have tricked a man based on the scenario or the reports, giving him 6 jackets. What penalty do you think this lady should face? Should it be treated as fraud?
Straight to jail.
And who take care of the kids? But who take care of the kids?
And we're back. Want to make sure that we encourage everyone to go ahead, like, comment, share. It's all about common sense, make it make sense, right? Make it make sense. You know what I mean? And we are discussing the topic. Should Jamaican government have a mandatory DNA test for newborns? And we have such a heated conversation just now when Jackson was leading the narrative that Jamaican women are leading the narrative that Jamaican women are most unfaithful, right, Jackson? And Q,
I don't recall that, but all right.
based on the 68% showing that we have jackets in Jamaica, and Q is saying the ladies are confused and they just want the best for their child, so them do any man anymore. Again, I'm representing 4BD, right? So I have a few questions for the gentleman here. Yeah, man, look, split it on 4BD, fashion or men. So make sure you check it out if you're in Jamaica, out your rest. All right, so I have a few questions for you, gentlemen. I think I'm gonna start with you, Jackson.
Wow.
Yeah, man, I want to hear your point of view. So we mentioned that, based on the statistic, is it saying that Jamaican women are most unfaithful if they're giving the child the wrong father, based on the study that was done? Do you believe that majority of women who give their child the wrong father, do you believe that they honestly know that they're giving the child the wrong father? Do you believe that?
Well, obviously this would be my opinion because you don't know what's in the hearts and in the
Yeah, man,
minds
that's
of
what I'm
others.
saying. That's what I'm asking your
But
opinion. Yeah.
yeah. Just clarify that. But as it relates to them knowing that they're willingly giving a jacket, I mean, a lot of times I feel like they do it willingly, but sometimes it's a case where they're unsure. So because they're unsure, they just go with what would work best for them. Right? So if one of the potential fathers are more financially stable, or they're in a relationship with that person and they love that person and don't want to see that relationship end, then it would make sense for them to give the child to that person just to maintain that relationship. That's how I'm thinking that they're looking at it.
I just want to clarify. So you're saying no, it's not that they're unsure. They're just choosing the right environment or father for their child. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know if they know, but I think they are unsure. So if you are not, if that person is unsure, they're going to go with best case scenario, like what worked best for them. That's the scenario they're going to go with. But I don't think it is going to be a case where they don't know. And the reason I'm saying they don't, a case where they absolutely don't know is like you obviously she know that she had 2 partners within a short time frame, right? So obviously there has to be some sort of knowledge in their mind or in the back of their head to say, well, okay, well, seeing that, I slept with these two persons within the same month because it have to happen within the same month. And if we're looking at
Tread softly, sir. Tread softly, please.
if we're looking at how women ovulate and stuff like that, so the right circumstances needs to be there for you to get pregnant. So it's either you know for a fact that, okay, this is the person, or you have them have two sexual partners within a very short time span. So maybe like a week or a few days or something like that when you're ovulating, and that's when they get catch. So I think for the most case, they're unsure. Some of them know.
Vivid explanation.
Yeah, man, some of them know, man.
Well, okay. All right. We appreciate your opinion. Q, representing for the ladies, saying that, listen, these ladies just want good fathers for their children.
No, represent for the kids.
Well, so it's good. You be careful. Let's say that. I'm going to ask a question. All right. Let's go into it. Let's go into it. All right. So Q, a man who have contributed to his child or children and is given the opportunity after a period of time to be overseas and decide to file for them. And then, just like the reports we're hearing about the artists and the sportsman, realize that the child or children is not his. I see a case in the paper where 6 children and the 6 of them are jackets. What would you say to this man after finding out after years of investing in his children that they're not his? He's listening to you right now. What would you say to him?
All right. So first of all, I'm not a psychiatrist, right? So I don't know if I'm trained or my words would be enough for that individual and for that child. No, that is a sensitive case where the child and the gentleman is going through an emotional time in their life. Right? But if they do have a bond, I would say keep that bond. Now, my opinion is not the views of Kommon Cents. It's my personal opinion because as the viewers see, Kommon Cents University, as you all see, we all have 3 different opinions at times. So my opinion may not be the same opinion of Witter's opinion or Jackson's opinion, right? So you don't have to agree with me, but if you do agree with me or you don't agree with me, drop a comment right down there. Wait a minute.
That's it. So keep the algorithm going. Indeed. I love the way you approach that statement just now. Clarifying that you're not in that field and you don't know if you're going to say the right thing. But if you develop a bond with that child, why not carry it on? However, I'm going to get to the other side of it. Jackson.
I may have to get the next
So
side.
a mother who tricked a man based on the certain scenario or the reports, giving him 6 jackets over a period of time, and he spends his money bringing through filing to bring that child overseas, and then to find out after 18 years or 10 years that the child isn't his. What penalty do you think this lady should face? Should it be treated as fraud?
Straight to jail.
And who take care of the kids? But who take care of the kids?
Nah, I'm just messing. There's this Philippines, the prime minister, government, or whatever it is. But I mean, I wouldn't rule out jail still. Because that is fraud. That is fraud. It is paternal fraud. So it should be a crime. You know what I mean? It should be a crime.
Well, them say the most expensive thing are children.
Exactly.
So
And
you're
those are,
saying that
and I don't want you to, and I don't want you gentlemen to look at it that way. No, we're looking at the future of the nation also. They should be expensive.
hence this conversation. That's what I'm saying. If she was able to scam that man for years, and I'm using that term because that's what it is. It's fraud for years, knowing that she's doing this. You, and that's why I'm asking her a question.
It's one thing
If
for one.
there's a penalty,
It's one
there
thing
should
for
be a
one
penalty.
not being yours, but all six? Oh God, man. Come on. That is I
So
don't know. I don't
you're saying Jackson that you'll take like a one or two jacket out of 6 penny, but you're not take all six.
I never said that. When we said that. No, at the end of the day,
Your
I think
statement was just so all six, at least one. So I'm just asking for clarification.
no, I don't want any. But at the end of the day, I feel like, kids, kids are precious, right? So, if you have the opportunity, let's say you're in a relationship and your wife step out and she get catch, then I think it's not the end of the relationship. It's definitely not the end of the relationship. But I don't think she should take it upon herself to go ahead and assign you that child without you having knowledge of what is going on, right? Because at the end of the day, you have a lot of men, as Q said earlier, who are gallus and them step out of them relationship. The problem is when them get catch, there is no repercussion where them are carry belly for 9 months, right? So if you're looking at it from that standpoint, and they're expected to be forgiven for their trespasses, right? I feel like the same type of courtesy can be
Hold on,
extended to
hold on.
these
I
women.
want to make sure I understand what you're saying. You're saying if a man cheats, he should be given the same treatment as how you treat a criminal who fraud.
I mean, so I didn't say that. I didn't say that. But I'm just saying in
No, you
terms
made a
of
clarification
no,
saying
in
that.
terms it
Okay,
is completely different. And the reason why it's different is because there's monetary value involved. Wherein if it's a man stepping out of the relationship, there's not really any financial consequences there.
So don't you think it's monetary involved when a woman is investing in a relationship just as a man as well? And he stepped out and be unfaithful? I'm just asking.
But how is the woman being financially impacted?
The home is broken and she has to start over. These ladies say
No, if
over
if
and
the
over
if the
again, they're not
relationship ends, that's if the relationship ends.
okay.
But let's say
So you're saying that
let's say
cheating
she
should
don't
be
know. So we're
encouraged.
doing the same. If we're doing like for like, um, she does not know about him stepping out because in these cases the man don't know so the woman step out and get breed by somebody else, right?
Mhm.
So in that scenario, the woman is not being impacted anyway, right? But in
So
the flip side,
are
the
you
man is
then
being
saying that
impacted for 18
are
years
men that
straight.
cheater than man? Are you then saying because the man now go find out and hold the jacket for much years, women are better cheater than man? They
Well,
cheat with her.
we all know that is a fact. I'm kidding. That is my
I
opinion.
don't know. I'm just asking the question. I don't know.
We all know women are better cheaters. You can Google it. But apparently they are because they're the ones perpetrating these fraudulent acts. So
Okay. That's the view of Sir Jackson. Not necessarily the view of Kommon Cents. But it's important why I ask this because persons are going to ask these questions in the comment section. So I want to make sure that we point out this. So you're saying that responsibility should be held on both parties, whether it's paternity fraud or stepping out of a relationship. But you're not saying that they should be treated as the same.
they're not the same because there's one thing, stepping out is one, getting pregnant is another, right? And then the fact that you get pregnant, that's
So
something very,
what penalty
very
you said should
serious.
be given to a woman who embezzled money from a man over 10 years or 5 to 10 years or more, knowing that she is given the child the wrong father? What penalty you should give? You said
So
jail, then you said
I'm not a
but
lawmaker, so I don't want to get into that. But at the
just
same
ask the
time,
viewers.
my opinion is that, that's a very harsh thing to do.
When a
It
father, when a
has
father, when,
mental and emotional impact. So, I think that, yes, probably the woman is living with it, but they choose to live with it, right? That's a choice that they made. So at the end of the day, I think, there should be a penalty.
Okay, all right, you.
It should
You're
be
saying you're representing all for the children, because I was saying you're representing for the ladies, but Q is the ladies man. He said majority of Jamaican men are gallus, except me and Jackson. So Q, as relates to a child who later find out that she was lied to and given the wrong father, um, and she's now emotionally damaged and having daddy issues. How would you advise? Again, you said you're not in that field, but you're a man of great words. So how would you approach that situation, a young lady that is going through that, or just a child overall?
Thank you for the clarification to reach out to the audience to let them know that the views that I'm giving is my opinion. But if it's been useful to you, make it make sense.
That is it.
As a child, you're not responsible for where you're from. You did not select your parents, but you're responsible for your future. So if you're out there and you're one of the kids who has been affected in such a way, we just want to look into the camera and say to you, it's not your fault. What happened, happened. There's nothing you can do about that. But what you choose to do with your life makes a difference. And you are the future.
Point well taken. Point well taken. You zoomed in just now. I wanted to put some music playing because, boy, they must hear what you're
violent.
saying just now. So, boy, you know what I mean? Powerful word, powerful word, powerful words. So we're not here to bash anyone, really. We're here to look on these issues and talk common sense. How can we resolve it? How the issue is there. You know what I mean? We don't want to play blaming games, but we want to make sure that we provide solutions and step towards the solution, how we can resolve the situation. So, Jackson, your closing statement. What we do, ask the government, or just we as people to approach these different percentages that been thrown out to Jamaica that we are, as relates to paternity fraud, we are leading the world number one. 68%. That's like if you get that in any test,
Pass
you're a
mark.
good student. Pass mark. How
Oh
can
man.
we fix this and build a trust? And so our queens, our Jamaican queens, are respected fathers representing their children who is their real children and being a father and a support system to the women. And women being responsible and not just flipping a coin and say he's a better father and give it to an next partner. How do you say if not DNA mandatory, how can we solve it?
Just going back to say that I am for mandatory DNA, but how else could we solve it? I mean, I think public education and just setting up some support systems wherein when something like that happens, there is someone that can guide them through that conversation and guide them through that period in their life. Because, we're all humans, we all make mistakes, but you know, uh not everyone knows how to handle situations like that. And I've heard of people that, that drive them to do crazy stuff, right? So not only the wife or the girlfriend doing crazy stuff, but the man find out and he's doing something crazy, or the actual father find out, and so to avoid situations like that, public education, as I mentioned, and if they can set up something and train persons that can assist with that type of conversation. Now, again, all of that costs money. So I don't know if that's a cheaper route. And not necessarily looking for the cheaper route, but we're looking for the better route, right?
That is
Yeah. So whether it is setting up probably like they have I don't know what Planned Parenthood is, but it sounds like a good thing. But if they had something like that where people could go to a place, let's say a clinic, and within that clinic you have a specific unit that deals with therapy. No, that therapist that is there doesn't necessarily have to specialize in that particular issue, but they can act as an outlet where a lot of the mental issues that Jamaicans face or difficult conversations or difficult situations that Jamaicans face, they can go in and talk to that therapist, right? So this could be one of them. You get pregnant, you think it's your baby father, you're not sure if it's a baby father. It's a boyfriend, sorry. It could be the man out the road, and just have that conversation. It's something that's, a private conversation, and that person guide you through how to manage that and how to navigate that type of situation.
Thank you. We appreciate your opinion. We appreciate each of your opinion. Want to say we're going to take a little break, but before we take that break, I want to say shout out to the different vloggers and Instagram pages that has been posting and reposting that discussion about who is the king of the dance hall and the criteria that we put out. We want to say thank you very much. We're just trying to make sure that we bring common sense in it all, and that's what it's about. And apart from who is the king or who is not the king, these are legends, and we need to show respect to our legends. Too often, artists say when they go overseas, they are given way more love than their own country. And we want to make sure that we give flowers while we are alive. So big up to Vibes Cartel, big up to Beat the Man, big up to Sean Paul, all the other artists, Bunty. If I continue naming, I wouldn't stop. So I want to say big up and thanks for supporting us. Make sure you comment and support. We'll have a little discussion with Q in a few. Make sure you comment. If you have any topics that you want us to talk about, leave it there. You know what I mean? We'll definitely go into it and make common sense out of it. We'll be back shortly.
MP declares war on jacket giving. Heroi Clark pushes for birth DNA testing law. Admits shocking claims that an entertainer and a sportsman last year found out that they are not the biological fathers of the children they had been raising. A Jamaican lawmaker has vowed not to relent on his pledge to make DNA testing mandatory at birth to determine paternity. There are a lot of women against this, and of course a lot of women that say, yeah man, this is the right thing to do. But for those who are against this, to others it says a lot about you.